So today we are going to be doing Am I the Asshole posts from Reddit. I have compiled a list in 5 categories of different Am I the Asshole posts. We are going to each give our answer after the initial question of you're the asshole, you're not the asshole, everyone sucks here, not no assholes here, or you need more info before you can determine. After we give our initial, I'm going to read the whole prompt, and then we're going to respond and decide if our initial responses are wrong or if we are going to stick to our guns and defend it. So the first category is going to be food or family.
We also have a guest today.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I didn't notice
You got
you
on me
there.
already. Damn.
We have a guest, Kingy, is our guest today for this one, so that there's more than one person voting while she's reading them, because that would be boring.
Can be one. I'd also be voting. Now there's 3 instead of 2, though, which is more fun.
Yeah, because then you don't have to worry about, there's a tiebreaker there.
That's true.
Anyways, okay.
All right, guys. What do you want, food or family?
Let's do food. Just because we don't want to go straight into juicy stuff. I feel like food would be like, show's gonna be fine, like not that bad compared to family. So there's gonna be some crazy shit. So
listen, most of these are family and kid related. So you're going to have a bad time if you are going to try to not scorch any earth. Food it is. All right, question number 1. Would I be the asshole for refusing to stop cooking bacon in my kitchen due to my teenage daughter's vegan lifestyle?
If they were to refuse to stop?
So this person, his daughter is a vegan, and the vegan daughter wants him to stop cooking bacon in his own kitchen, and he wants to know, would he be the asshole to say, no, I will not stop cooking bacon in my own kitchen?
I don't think that he's the asshole if he's paying for the kitchen.
Okay.
That's his own home.
I feel like personally he is the asshole. For me, it's I'm kind of like mixed on it. If she's really serious on this vegan thing, and she's going to him asking him, can you please stop, and he doesn't, then I feel like he is being an asshole. But if she's just doing it for kind of show, then I don't think he's being an asshole.
Okay, cool.
So I could see not cooking it like while she's in there, or being like, hey, I'm going to cook some bacon if you'd like to go to your room so that you don't have to be in here while I'm doing this. But it's his kitchen.
Yeah, I'm going not the asshole. It's his kitchen. At the end of the day, I mean, I would be livid if somebody, especially my daughter, told me to stop cooking bacon in my own kitchen.
I feel like we're taking a different stance, though, because like Kingy doesn't eat bacon, do you?
No, I don't eat bacon now.
Yeah, you can't eat pork. So he's viewing it as probably a lot of people, were raised religious where they're not allowed to eat pork.
Well, but it's the concept. It could be anything, like any type of meat.
Yeah,
that's how I saw it. That's how I saw it, because this kind of brings up a thing that's happened before. So one of my cousins, she decided to go vegan, and she goes to her mom, I don't want you to cook meat anymore. The thing is, we come from a culture that meat is a very, very big thing. That just comes with everything we eat as meat, and so this whole debate appeared from that subject. And she was like, Mom, but I want to be vegan. And Mom's like, it's my kitchen. I pay for the food. If you want to be vegan, you pay for the groceries. And then you do the dishes after I finish the meat and blah, 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 blah. So that's how I kind of viewed it in that kind of sense. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just right. This two heads. There's two kind of sides to it, in my opinion. Yeah.
So the story, Dad here loves his daughter to pieces, but I'm struggling to see eye to eye with my teenage daughter and wife on this one. We've always been a meat-eating family. We live in the rural Midwest, and bacon for breakfast is pretty much a given. This year, my 14-year-old daughter decided to go vegan, and I jumped onto her support team with enthusiasm. We learned how to substitute ingredients, cook new things, try new things, and I've adjusted our budget to include more expensive vegan substitutes for her. None of this was a problem until recently. She saw me cook bacon in a pan, and then I rinsed it out to load in the dishwasher. She exploded in anger. Teen years. I'm not too fussed about the anger explosion. I know she didn't mean it. And I told her that, and she said that the pan was hers for vegan food. I was completely floored, and I said, this is a family pan. It's older than you. It's not your pan. She asked me to purchase her a pan that she can use solely for vegan food. I didn't want her to feel weird about food, so I said sure and ordered her some colored ones that are only for her. The reason they're colored is to help me remember that unless I'm cooking vegan, not to use them. This wasn't good enough. Now, apparently, the dishwasher is contaminated with animal product, and the fridge has bacon grease fingers on it because I ate bacon, then touched the fridge. She's asked me and her mom to completely stop eating meat at home. With the fridge, I do wash my hands after eating bacon, but that isn't enough and it upsets my daughter. Frankly, I'm team hell no. Her mom is more amenable and strongly wants me to consider taking our daughter up on the request. My wife's reasoning is that both our parents live close so we can eat meat there. She doesn't want our daughter to feel uncomfortable in the kitchen. My daughter says she's fine with cheese and butter in the fridge, but specifically meat products that make her feel sick. I'm sorry for her, but feel like she needs to adapt and live side by side because I'm not going to stop eating bacon in my own house.
I don't think he's the asshole.
I don't think he's the
doctor's
asshole.
being too bossy considering she's living there for free. I would assume she's living there for free.
Well, she's 14, so yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't have to pay any bills. She doesn't. They're even willing to buy her own dishes, to not have
and
to
groceries. I eat a lot of vegan.
When it goes to the dishwasher, then she should wash her dishes separately.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I think the daughter's being the asshole.
Oh, and I messed up the breakdown beforehand. The internet determined he is not the asshole here. I was supposed to read that before the story. Yeah. But yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, he did so many things.
Telling us afterwards what the internet.
Okay, I can tell you afterwards what the internet said.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made so many concessions to help her not feel comfortable. And I mean, at the end of the day, the world is not going to cater to her. She can't go to a restaurant and be like, you need to cook this on a completely separate kitchen because I'm vegan. No.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right, on to the next one. Family or humanity?
Humanity.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not giving up my seat to a pregnant woman?
Yes.
Lindsey?
Yes.
Without knowing the context, I'll say yes. But I have to kind of know the context.
So I actually read this and I don't think they're the asshole, specifically because if you were in a situation where...
It depends on the situation for me.
See, here was my thought process. If you're in a situation where you have to give up your seat, that implies that there are no seats available. So why do you specifically have to give up your seat unless you're sitting in public transportation full of like all old people and pregnant people?
I view it as, personally, as a guy, it's gentlemanlike to do that type of stuff. It doesn't have to be a pregnant woman. It could be an older person. It could be anyone, in my opinion. Even if this pregnant woman was a major asshole to him, I would have personally given my seat and just kind of walked off because, it's just the thing I would personally do. Like I said, I feel like it's gentlemanlike. I don't know how you would see it, your perspective. But me personally, that's what I would have done. I would have given my seat, even if
I think it's an asshole move to not give up your seat, but more than likely, I'm not going to give up my seat, and I'm just going to be the asshole.
Yeah, like that's where I thought too. Like if I was that person, I would be the asshole. So you're absolutely right, Kingy. It is a gentlemanly or womanly thing to do. But
if it's an elderly person, I'm probably likely to give it up. Or if she's like way out to here, like about to bust, I would be like, "Do you want my seat?" Like,
just like
take my damn seat. My God.
Yeah, no, but like even that though, like personally, like I don't know, like if it was your sibling or your wife or whatever situation, and they were on public transport and they were pregnant, you kind of would want them to be comfortable in the situation. You don't want them to come home and complain, look, my feet is hurting, my legs is hurting because I was on a packed train, and no one was kind of willing to give up the chair. Obviously, you don't have to give up your chair, but it's the right thing to do, in my opinion. It's just something you should do.
It is the right thing to do. I'm not a good person. I would not give up my seat.
And it would depend on how long I'm going to be on the train, too.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm only going to be on for 5 minutes, I'd be like, yeah, you can go ahead and have
But yeah, give it. But yeah, if you have like a 15-minute ride.
Like, no.
Mm-hmm. No. All right.
Right.
So the story, this happened last night and my family completely lost their minds at me about it. I take the bus to and from work. My car was totaled a month ago and I'm waiting on insurance to reimburse me to get a new one. Right now on public transit, you have to social distance, which means limited seating. At my job, I'm on my feet all day and I work 10-hour shifts. It sucks, but the pay is really good, so I can deal. But after a long day, my feet are sore as fuck. I genuinely cherish the time that I spend sitting on the bus ride home, knowing that I have to walk another 15 to 20 minutes to my house from the bus stop. Last night on the bus, a heavily pregnant lady gets on. She looked around for a seat and saw there were none. I was closest to her, so she started giving me imploring eyes. I had my headphones in and I tried to pretend I couldn't see her, but when she started talking to me, it became inevitable. I wasn't rude or anything, but I told her no. I've had a long day and my feet are sore. I don't want to give up my seat. She started crying about how she's pregnant, a single mom, and I told her I'm sorry, but that was her personal choice and she can't expect other people to accommodate her life choices. We live in a state where birth control and abortions are free, so I don't know why this should be my problem. It's not my fault she decided to have a baby when she can't afford a car. After going back and forth a bit, an old man shouted that I'm a worthless punk and offered his seat to the lady. He started ranting and raving about worthless millennials, and I looked the other way and pretended I didn't hear it. As they were trading seats, the bus driver had to slam on the brakes for whatever reason, and both the pregnant lady and the old man fell. They started yelling at me, calling me all kinds of nasty names, and I looked away and ignored it. When I got home and told my sister, she flipped the fuck out and went crying to our parents, who also chewed me out. But I was tired, had a long day, and I don't know why we need to keep perpetuating the idea that breeding somehow means you're entitled to people's seats. I'm tired too. We're all tired in this pandemic. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, which all I heard was him being a big ass bitch, right? Because see, and I say that because that literally reminds me of when I was working not long ago. Like I was in the same situation. I would have to walk to the train station. Then from the train station, I have to walk 15 minutes to catch the coach. And then the coach ride an hour to work. And I work 10-hour shifts on my feet to finish at 5 a.m. Well, you know, I mean, it was the same scenario. And I still feel like I would have given up my seat to a pregnant lady. It doesn't, like, what the hell? Like, you know, he's giving his sub story about how his car's being towed and whatnot. You know, I think that guy is just being a bitch. That's the best way I can put it. And he feels probably typing something out makes him some sort of keyboard warrior, you know, because he could feel like he could be big and bad about whatever he wants to say. Because if anything, if he was the way he was, he would have said something to the old man when he talked shit to him. You know, like I said, these type of people, I feel like I said, he is an asshole. Like there's no doubt about it. Like I don't see any other way. Like the guy is an asshole. Like, what the fuck?
But after hearing the story, I do think he was being an asshole. Like,
yeah, like
because I'm the type, like, I'm not going to give up my seat, but if they specifically asked me to, then I would be like, okay. Because I don't like confrontation.
But that's exactly it. It was because you were asked because it was a confrontation. Now, based on his wording, he's absolutely the asshole of like telling her it's her own personal choice. She shouldn't have gotten pregnant if she came out. Like, you know, breeding shouldn't be rewarded. That's crazy. And I do not support that. However, she asked him and he said no politely.
Yeah, and she should have left it at that.
She should have let it go. And she could have asked somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think that her and the old man
technically they're all the asshole.
Yeah. I would go with all the asshole too. Like there was it's not a good situation.
Because if I was to ask someone, I'd be like, hey, do you care to let me have your seat? And they're like, no, I'm sorry. I'd be like, okay. And I would turn around and leave them alone. I wouldn't be like, well, you're being a jerk.
It's a full bus. Like, why was that person singled out? Like, why did she berate him? Right. Why did nobody else, when he said no, go?
There's no point in pushing it farther.
Yeah.
So, well, I see what he means though, because like I said, when I was going off to work, like I said, you go on public transport and it's literally you enter the bus, there's one seat available, then you have to walk 3 or 4 more steps to the next seat, and then for another step, because it'd be like seat here, behind it we blocked off, then another seat, and another one blocked off, and another one, and then blocked off. You know what I mean? So I guess she might have been on the bus is moving, she probably saw him the closest and thought it would be easier to ask him instead of having then to walk on a moving bus. I'm sure as someone who was pregnant, they would know that they could get nauseous. I don't know, like there's just too many things to it. And like I said, during this pandemic, public transport sucks. Like it really does. Like it sucks. It sucks for everyone, right? And I'm pretty sure it sucks for the pregnant women and the disabled and the elderly, whatever it is. That's why I kind of see it and why she might have kind of went asked him first, just because of that reason. Like I said, the fact they quarantine the public transport is ridiculous, but yeah, what can you do during this pandemic?
I absolutely get that. And I get that like why she asked him first makes total sense. But the going after him after, I can't support that. Like
it doesn't help the situation at all.
Yeah.
That's true as well. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Well, the internet determined that they were the asshole.
Yeah.
So
fuck that guy.
So we're divided, the internet has spoken. Family or animals? Lindsay?
Lindsay? Animals.
Animals? Okay. Eventually, we're going to have to do a family one, you guys. We've skipped it like twice now. All right. Am I the asshole for taking in a pregnant dog that my brother abandoned a day before it gave birth? And as a result, my roommate has to unexpectedly deal with the dog and puppies.
Yes, I think. See, I don't think that's being an asshole, right? But like, you kind of have a roommate, so they kind of should know what's going on, as they're paying rent. That's why I kind of think.
To the dog, they're not an asshole. To the roommate, yes, they're an asshole.
Yeah, I'm the same. To the roommate, that's a shitty thing to do, to just be like, yeah, I'm totally taking a pregnant dog.
Yeah.
Sweet. Just waking up and just seeing a litter of puppies everywhere. Shit.
Like, what the hell?
Just looking out the room like, what?
My name's on this lease too. We're not supposed to have any animals. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you can just like take in a pregnant dog if you like, depending on where they live.
Yeah.
Like people don't even want one dog in their apartments.
Yeah, no, I feel like Lindsay said, asshole to the roommate, not asshole to the dog. Obviously, that's just kind of that's fucked up. Like especially if you're paying rent, and like I said, you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you see dog shit everywhere and dogs whimpering and crying. You're like, what the fuck,
All right, the story. The person telling the story is a 25-year-old male. Their brother is a 30-year-old male. So my brother is a drug addict who always ditches pets with family members when they get too troublesome. He's never done it to me, though. My roommate and I have a 2-bedroom that's not suitable for pets. Tuesday, my brother drops by unexpectedly with his dog and ditched the dog with me. I don't have pets and argued with him, and he just left. It was 8 p.m. and I didn't know that she was pregnant, so I said I'd look after her for a day. The dog was friendly and my housemate was out of town for a few days, so I thought one night would be okay. The dog gave birth to puppies the next night. I woke up to a very upset dog, screaming puppies and blood all over. I called a bunch of places, but they said they wouldn't take a dog in active labor. I did my best with the puppies, Googled what kind of nest to build. Puppies are useless and can't regulate their own temperature. I had to spend $100 on lamps, blankets, rugs, etc., plus the time I spent cleaning up. I'm not a dog person. There's dog shit everywhere, and my house smells like 10 dogs all the time, and the puppies are constantly screaming. I've been taking time off because, according to the internet, the mom could eat some of the puppies if we leave her alone.
Well, then you have a problem.
The mother dog is constantly hungry, so I'm buying food for her. My roommate came back and immediately went insane. I told him this was unplanned, but that didn't help. I told him I also want the dogs gone and what happened. He made ultimatums for me to kick the dogs out onto the street if I can't find a shelter today. I asked him what right he has to be angry with me rather than my brother or the dog. And I said, 1, I shouldn't have let my brother into the house since he's done this before. And 2, I should have known the dog was pregnant or asked. And 3, I shouldn't have let the dog stay even one night. He won't stop cursing at me every time we cross paths. Every night he is woken up by the puppies screaming. He knocks on my door, demands I shut them up. If there's shit anywhere in the house, he grabs it and smears it on my door, saying it's my mess.
That's gross.
Am I the asshole? And what the fuck am I supposed to do with so many dogs?
See, I want to know.
Now I think everyone's the asshole.
Yeah, like 100%. Like, what does this roommate do?
Like if that happened to me, I was the roommate, I would be like, are you fucking kidding me? You've got to find a place for these damn dogs.
Yeah.
Well, that would pretty much be the end of it. Like I wouldn't be.
It seemed too that there was a couple days. It wasn't like the roommate was like coming home from work to this dog. There was a couple days that like they could have gotten rid of the dog. And I get not getting rid of the dog and like somebody not taking active labor. But once the dog stopped being in active labor, I mean, there's tons of shelters who would have taken it and put it in a foster home, especially when they found out, hey, I am a person who doesn't know how to deal with dogs, who has a dog that's pregnant and had puppies. I don't know what to do with this. A shelter absolutely would not leave them with that person.
Yeah, I feel like now they can give it to the shelters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keeping it was just a stupid choice.
100%. And I don't get it because his roommate is kind of making a big fuss about it. Like if he's trying to get rid of the dog as well. So I don't see what I found funny was like, you know, when he said every time I bump into my roommate, he presses at me. Does he like walk past it like, fuck you forgetting those dogs every time he sees them?
I mean, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, so like they're not big.
Yeah, but like, I still don't like. I feel like his roommate's probably over exaggerating in a sense.
Yeah. That's why I feel like the roommate's being an asshole too.
Yeah, because
the guy's totally stressing this out like way more than it has.
Yeah. Because the guy's not saying like being Gandhi and saying I'm keeping the dog. He's trying to get rid of them as well. So I don't see why he's being abusive to his roommate. You know, because he's trying to get rid of them. He's like, fuck, I don't want these dogs too. Like, you don't want them. I don't want them. He doesn't want them. Let's get rid of them.
Yeah. I think he could have tried harder to get rid of the dogs. I do think the roommate was being really assholish and unreasonable though. Like, smear shit on somebody's door. Like, come on.
That's disgusting.
That's so fucked up.
That's fucking gross.
That's just,
And like, what's the roommate doing? Is the roommate also trying to get rid of these dogs, or is he just like, this is just your problem, you have to deal with it? Like,
and I'm like, you done.
Too, you should be helping.
Yeah, like I would be helpful. I would be like, oh my gosh, let me help help this dog with birth with you. Let me help whatever I can. Now I'll help you find a place for them.
Yeah. Because like I would not want 10 puppies, like 10 dogs total in an apartment where I already had a roommate. Like, no, let's work together and find somebody who will take massive dogs.
Yeah.
See, but I kind of want to understand this relationship between the roommate because like I don't know, like I would assume that when you get a roommate you're kind of on a mutual friendship with them. And for him to kind of
start.
You know what I mean? And I kind of think if anything, the biggest asshole out of everybody is the roommate. That's how I see it, you know, honestly, because the roommate is the one who's hurling abuse at the guy, who is smearing dog shit at the door, who is hassling at it's. I feel like he's probably the worst person in the whole situation, you know, just due to the fact.
I mean, it was a dick move for him to take the dog in without asking the permission of the roommate. But I think it was kind of like an emergency situation. I'm just taking it in until, you know, just for a night or two and figure out what we're gonna do. Like
it kind of seemed like too though he didn't call the roommate, so the roommate was out of town for a few days. But I think he definitely should have called and been like, hey, just a heads up, when you come home from your like trip, instead of the relaxing quiet house that you're used to that doesn't have animals, there's 9 screaming puppies and a very angry mother dog here, and like be prepared. Like, can you imagine coming home from a trip and just like walking in the door to like my apartment smells like cats. Like you walk in and you're like, okay, she definitely has cats. It doesn't smell like awful, but like it smells like I have pets because I do. And so it's just one of those things where if you're not used to a place that like smells like pets, to walk in and just be hit in the face with puppies. Puppies are disgusting.
That's so fucked up, honestly.
So I feel like everyone's an asshole there. The person who took in the dogs should have informed the roommate ahead of time to let them know. The roommate's being a total dick for the way he's acting over it, being a big baby. Like, let's just work together and find a home for these dogs.
Yeah.
And next time, talk to your roommate before you take them in.
Well, the internet agrees with you. Everyone's the asshole here. Y'all ready for some family?
Yes.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my sister with cancer that bad things happen to bad people?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, you're the asshole.
Yeah, like you can't say, even if it's true, you can't say it.
That's such a shitty thing to say.
Yeah.
Say it.
All right. So the story is me, 27-year-old male, and my sister, Ava, who's 31, have never gotten along for a number of reasons. I was adopted at age 8, and she still only addresses our parents as her parents and calls me a family friend when introducing me. I was overweight growing up, and she bullied me for it. I have a stereotypical girl's name, named after my birth mother. Think along the lines of Kelly or Anna. Something boring, but unmistakably girly. To this day, she bullies me for it. She outed me as gay to the whole school in the school paper, says that I ruined her life by encouraging her parents to foster 2 more kids. She once locked me out of our house for 3 days while my parents were out of town. It was important because he was like, oh, she only refers to them as her parents, but he just referred to them as his parents. So they're both shitty.
But he may have been doing that to be sarcastic because how she acts.
I mean, it's possible, but also like they're both of your parents. When I was 13, I had to stay with the neighbors because she wouldn't even open the door when my parents were out of town, even when they called and told her to. There's many more examples, but these come to mind first. Last week, Ava called me, my siblings, and parents over for lunch. Me and my siblings had to stop and pick up food on the way over. She wouldn't cook for us, only for our parents. When we got there, our parents were already there in the kitchen crying. I asked what happened, and Ava said she had cancer and wanted our support. I said, I'm sorry about that because I didn't know what else to say. Ava and my parents got upset, and it turned into a screaming match. I told her she shouldn't be surprised karma finally found her. Ava asked what I meant, and I told her that bad things happen to bad people. She started sobbing, and I walked out. My parents have been calling saying I'm an asshole, and my siblings are mad that I drove away without them because we came together. But they agree Ava is awful. I'm starting to feel bad because cancer is horrible, and no one deserves to go through that. Am I the asshole?
Yeah. See, like, I feel like it's in the sense of, true, she mistreated him growing up, right? But, like, now it's one of those things, like, she might not be here for the next year or the next month or whatever it is.
She's still mistreating him, though.
Yeah.
She specifically is not cooking for him or the 2 other foster siblings.
Y'all, even though I was cooking anyways.
Yeah.
But like, she want you to support targeted. I have cancer.
Yeah.
I learned a thing from a very wise person, and she said, kill him with kindness. So that phrase has stuck with me in my life. And yeah, I see it in that sense, to be honest. Like, true, she's an asshole and she's been mistreating them and whatnot. But, like, sooner or later, she's going to be really sick. And I'll be honest, like, no matter how bad she might have mistreated them, like I said, she might not be around. And then you don't want to, the worst thing is to regret something in life and not being able to speak it out with the person. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too late then. That's how I see it.
So yeah, I think
it's an asshole thing to say, no matter how true it is. I do definitely think it's true. She's being a total
say it,
bitch, but you shouldn't say it.
Yeah, like you shouldn't
tell people the whole family. That's something you say quietly to them and then deny it to the death.
Yeah.
Like, you know how she is. She's a lying. She's always been mean and stuff. I would never say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Well, the internet determined 44% of people said not the asshole and 39% of people said everybody sucks here.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's accurate. All right, we going kids or food?
Kids, might as well. Took a dark turn, so might as well keep going.
All right. Am I the asshole for not removing my son's makeup when my sister-in-law asked me to because she didn't want a boy wearing makeup at her wedding?
Say again, please.
Am I the asshole for not removing my son's makeup when my sister-in-law asked me because she didn't want a boy wearing makeup at her wedding?
I don't think that makes her an asshole.
I mean, it's her wedding. Was he in the wedding?
Am I allowed to give
Do you know
spoilers?
Well,
So Lindsay wants more info. You want more info?
I want
feel
more
like-
info because if he's playing a role in the wedding, you know how bridezillas are. Like, they determine what everybody wears, no matter what their gender or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, I want you to wear this makeup and this eyeshadow and this nail polish. And, you know, so I mean, it's.
I thought it would be one thing, like,
And what kind
let's
of makeup
say,
is the kid wearing? Is it dressed
that's
up
what I
like
was
a
thinking.
clown? Because, I mean.
Yeah, because it was one of those things where my thought on it is if it's natural makeup, if the
If it
sister-in-law
looks
is
nice, I don't have
like,
a problem with it.
yeah, like who cares? But if it's like, winged eyeliner and like big blue eyeshadow and like full lipstick and stuff, I could
They're
see
looking
her
like
being
Mimi.
like, can you do a natural look? I wouldn't be like, can you just not wear makeup because that's who they are as cat. Yay. But I could see her being like, can you do a natural look? But to say, no, remove your son's makeup, it's my wedding. I think that's a dick move, and I support the poster for not removing it. I think that she was not the asshole for saying no.
I agree.
If it looks fun, like if it looks natural and nice, I would never ask someone to remove it. But if it's my wedding and you have a clown on, I mean, I'm like, no.
Yeah, you're like,
what gender you are or lack thereof, you're not wearing that shit. So
yeah, you're like, tone it down or get out.
Yeah.
So this story, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law got married today. My daughter was the flower girl and my son was the ring bearer. They're 4-year-old twins. It was a small wedding, 12 people, including the bride and groom. I did my daughter, my sister-in-law, and her maid of honor's hair and makeup. When I was doing my daughter's makeup, my son, who my husband had dressed, came in and said that he wanted makeup too. He's asked for makeup before and likes it more than my daughter does. I did it just like my daughter's with subtler eyeliner and a paler lipstick. I was done when my sister-in-law came in and asked what was taking so long. I told her I was doing his makeup. She freaked out and said that boy wearing makeup would steal the spotlight from her and asked me to remove it. I asked him if he wanted me to remove it and he said no. I assumed my sister-in-law would back down, but she said to take it off anyways. He said he wouldn't go to a wedding if he couldn't wear makeup. My daughter then said she wouldn't do it if he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so
there's
the
some
4-year-old
exaggeration going on here.
Yeah, so the 4-year-old said if he can't wear makeup, he won't do it. And then his sister, who is the flower girl, said if her brother doesn't go, then he won't go either, or she won't go either. So then my sister-in-law said that I should make them. I told her that I don't force my kids to do anything without a valid reason. I told her that my kids would not be in her wedding if they couldn't both wear makeup. She said that she would let him wear makeup. After the wedding, she told me that everyone was looking at my son instead of her, and it stole the whole spotlight. I don't know what she meant by that. All guests have seen my son in makeup before. Am I the asshole?
I feel like...
Go back up to the story.
Mm-hmm.
So,
didn't she say he's asked to wear makeup before? So and then she acted like this was the first time she gave in.
Yeah. So everybody at this 12-person wedding has seen her son in makeup before, and including the bride. And he asked his mom to do his makeup. He walked in and he said, "I want makeup too."
So, being 4-year-olds.
Changes it, doesn't it?
I don't think that 4-year-olds, the male or the female, should be wearing makeup to begin with, personally.
Yeah, no.
It's
too young.
Yeah, I don't think that they should be subjected to, I need to improve my appearance at that age. Yeah. So I would have been like, I don't think either one of them should have makeup on.
Yeah.
Personally. But if you're going to let them wear makeup, and it's subtle makeup, it's not, dramatic, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't either. And I do think, because she
but
said
I feel like
the
bride and the mom are both exaggerating things.
Yeah.
And being totally dramatic over it.
I thought it was weird that she did eyeliner for him, because she's like, I did subtler eyeliner. I'm like, boys don't need eyeliner. I could see her doing mascara and maybe like a powder. But she said eyeliner and lipstick, and I was like,
4. Like, they're 4.
He's not gonna notice.
Neither of them need eyeliner on.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because that goes right next to your eye. Like, they don't need that allergen risk at that age.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like the sister-in-law was kind of being an asshole for making a big deal out of it. The mom kind of shouldn't have really kind of.
The mom should have been like, look, we're not wearing makeup to this, but later on we can play dress up whenever we go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in that kind of sense. Like I said, not
shut the little boy down for wanting to wear makeup, but say at this function we're not wearing makeup. But later we can, if that's what you like.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that she gave in that situation and didn't give in other times. You'd assume you'd give in to your child when it's just in private and not in a mass situation like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of weird too. I feel like the mom kind of should put her foot down and said, look, like, no, not now, like you were saying, Lindsey.
But I think neither child should have had the makeup on.
Yeah, no, 100%.
They're four. Like, I feel like they don't need makeup.
Too young to be exposed to makeup and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know.
Like, I hate, like, the toddlers and tiaras bullshit. That irritates the shit out of me. I'm sorry, but there is no little kid that needs makeup and needs to be dressed up like that. It's ridiculous.
So I also feel that there is a deeper issue here because the sister-in-law said she thought a 4-year-old wearing what seems to be natural-looking makeup would upstage her at her wedding.
Yeah,
so I think that's a deeper issue. Like, who sees their 4-year-old nephew and is like, no, this fucker's too pretty. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Take makeup off his face. He's going to look better.
And I want to know who those other people were that were paying more attention to that.
Yeah.
Right, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, if I was at a wedding, even if the 4-year-old had clown makeup on, if I'm at the wedding, I'm going to focus on the bride and the groom.
It was a 12-person wedding. In theory, it would have been all close family. So there should have been no reason that, like, that whole, so the whole situation is stupid.
Yeah. It's not like there's 500 people and it's being televised and it's, like the prince and his wife getting married. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. It's a ridiculous situation.
Everyone sucks here because they're all being dramatic bitches instead of teaching these 4-year-olds how to compose themselves and act respectable.
Yeah, like the fact that she's afraid of being upstaged by a 4-year-old, like, what the fuck? Come on now. It's ridiculous.
Well, sorry, you look like an ogre. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if a 4-year-old with a little bit of makeup on is upstaging you, you've got some real issues.
You're like, maybe you should try harder.
Right? Yeah.
Or work out your issues. Go to counseling with this 4-year-old. Find out why they're such a threat to you.
Yeah. But also, the child shouldn't have had makeup on anyways.
Yeah. Well, the internet determined that the woman was the asshole for not removing her son's makeup, with 60% saying that she was the asshole and 29% saying that she was not the asshole. So she should have removed the makeup, according to the internet. All right, let's go. Food or family?
Why don't you choose this one, Megan?
Because I made the questions.
Oh, okay.
I have the list. I'm just going down it.
Lindsey, you can choose that.
Family.
Food or family? Family?
Do another family.
All right. Am I the asshole for letting my father-in-law write me into his will over his 2 daughters?
Wait, like, why does it sound?
No, it's up to the father-in-law who the fuck he wants in his will. I hate when people are fighting over a will.
I do.
Like, that should not play a role in your relationship with your family at all. That's how I feel.
I agree.
Because I think everyone should, as a whole, leave all their shit to whatever they want to. I think they should blow it all before they die because it's their life and their money. That's what I think. I have deep-seated aggression toward this over my own family, fighting over shit. So now I'm like...
See, but like,
who's gonna get what? And I'm like, I hope that he spends every dime before he ever dies. That way, nobody gets shit. That's what I think.
But like the way you said it, it's as if like, I don't know. I kind of took it as she's like kind of convinced her father-in-law to like not put his daughters in. It's like kind of taking it, or like kind of seeing too much into it.
I don't think it's asshole.
I want more info because the way that it's worded, am I the asshole for letting my father-in-law write me into his will over his 2 daughters? Are they like not in the will, or are they still in the will, but you're also in the will? So I want more info.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that. I do want more info. Kind of weird how it sounds.
Yeah, it's a weird. That's why I picked it.
Yeah, I'm the type I pick favorites, so I don't think it's an asshole move. It's, you know what, if you've been loyal to me and you're helping take care of me or something like that, and the two daughters won't have shit to do with me, I think that the daughter-in-law deserves it.
I agree.
So this is written by a 35-year-old male. And the prompt is, I, 35-year-old male, and my wife, 32 female, have been married 7 years and have 2 kids. My father-in-law is an older man who is somewhat stuck in his older, more male-centric worldview. Because of this, he always treated me like the son he never had, going as far as calling me his son in front of friends. He invites me on trips to go with him hunting, boating, and other things. He also helped me get my current job. This has caused a lot of problems with my wife, and she calls my father-in-law a misogynist and all sorts of things. And while I agree with her that it's awkward, I try not to blame old people for being stuck in the past. The other day, I was helping my father-in-law with something, and he brought up that he was probably not going to live longer, especially with COVID. He is vaccinated. He told me he always wanted a man he could trust to leave his money to and take care of the family, and that I would be it. He showed me a copy of his will, and most of the heirlooms and other things were left to his daughters. The lion's share of the money was left to me with instructions to take care of his daughters. He asked if I would honor his terms, and I said of course, and didn't think much of it since my wife and I share finances. I don't keep things from my wife, and when I got home, I told my wife. She freaked out, said that I was feeding into his bullshit, and I should have declined being placed in the will. She called her sister, and now they're both freaking out. I have no idea what he would have done if I had said no, but I know that I wasn't going to steal their money. So I'm not sure what to do because my wife and I never fight. I wish this would blow over.
I don't think he's being the asshole. I think that the grandpa's being an asshole by being that way, but
he should have declined.
Southern conservative, even though I'm not a conservative, is coming out in me because I think that if I was the daughter and it was my husband that was left everything, I would be like, well, you're not like him, and I know that you're going to make sure that me and my sister get what we deserve, so I'm not really worried about it.
So, Kingy, you said that he should have declined.
Yeah, no, I feel like he should have declined in the sense of, see, at the end of the day, it sucks for, the daughters because they're kind of being told, hey, look, there's a male figure in your life. And even though he's not your husband, you're gonna have to look at him for protection, and he's gonna look after you. Because I feel like that's nonsense, in my opinion. I'm sure these daughters have their own relationships and their own lives, and they don't need to go and kind of need protection from this guy. Like, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but once the grandpa dies, he very well might take the money and just half it and give half of it to one daughter and half to the other, and be like, "There you go."
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I know. I just feel like, I don't know. In that kind of situation, I feel like it's a really low blow to the daughters. It's kind of like, fuck you, you're a female. You're basically gonna get some of the shit, and because he's a male, he's gonna get most of the shit. That's how I'm kind of seeing it. Yeah, see, I'm Arab, and even we don't have that kind of mentality in that type of sense. That to me is very backwards. It's fucked up. It really is. It's unfair.
So he said that he doesn't share this worldview, and I don't think that he was the asshole for accepting it, because nobody knows what the father-in-law would have done if he turned it down. The father-in-law is old school.
To a charity or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if he turned it down, they could have all gotten nothing, because at the end of the day, he didn't want his daughters to have it. Yeah. Specifically because they were women. So it's possible that if the son-in-law had turned it down, that he would have said, well, I still don't want my daughters to have it. So I think that he was not the asshole, and I don't think it was great, but he did tell his wife right away. And I think that, like, his wife.
He could have not told anyone, which means he considers her views important to him.
Yeah.
And I don't see him keeping it from her, or as far as the money goes.
And I would imagine that he would also, like, set up a separate account that the sister-in-law had, like, full access to. Like, here's your share of it. Like, because he doesn't seem like the type where it's like, well, he left it to me to take care of you guys, so call me every time you want to go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I don't think the guy is an asshole. I definitely think the dad's like, he's a prick. Like,
That's the worst.
That's it's just so mean. Like imagine having daughters and you're raising your daughters, and whatnot, and then so in the end, you're kind of nearing your life. And you're kind of like, yeah, fuck you, you ain't shit. It's kind of it's really mean.
But we also don't know what those girls are like. They maybe have like shopaholic issues and
or
be very irresponsible.
They could be drug addicts. It doesn't have to be shopping.
Yeah. That could be drug addicts. They could be,
Yeah. They could be addicted to fancy cars.
But like kind of like who you were saying, it's the mentality. Like he kind of talks about his father-in-law's mentality. Like these girls could be religious university grads or college graduates, and he could still be like, yeah, these guys aren't worthy enough for my money. Yep. That's how it kind of comes off. And I think that's just really shitty. Like the guy's not an asshole, but the dad isn't. He's a prick.
Yeah, for sure. The dad is the worst.
Yeah, like 100%. It's just so unfair. Like, how could you do that to your daughters?
Well, seeing like how people do their wills, if you want to exclude somebody from your will, you have to include them. So if I was like, I really hate this person, I don't want them to get the thing, I have to leave them like $1 or like a penny or like a moldy sandwich so that they can't contest the will.
Exactly what they get.
Yeah. Because they're like, no, I didn't forget you. I just hate you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the internet determined that this guy was the asshole, with 59% saying he's the asshole and 33% saying that he was not the asshole.
I don't think he is. I think that the father's the asshole.
Yeah, I still don't think he's the asshole.
I think he's just making sure that the daughters do get what's up to them.
You never know. He could be like, you know what? Thanks for the money, and then go, this is.
That's true. That's true. It's super true.
Because you never know. Like he literally could just dip. Like you don't know how much this money could be 10,000, 100,000, a million. You don't know. And like I said,
but in the same aspect, I think that it's up to the dad to leave it to whoever the fuck he wants to. So
I think so too. Yeah.
Even if it's unjust and it's a shitty ass reason, that's his to leave to whoever he wants.
Yeah.
So
next up, food or humanity?
Humanity. I like humanity.
Humanity? This one's a good one.
Ooh.
All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting to share profits of our business with my girlfriend?
Well, like the girlfriend works in his business?
Yeah, so it's am I the asshole for not wanting to share profits of our business with my girlfriend? So they're in business together.
Is he not wanting to share the financial, like actual money, or just not tell her how much that they're making?
He says share profits. So I'm guessing that anything, any profits, he just doesn't want to share with her.
Yeah,
like, I think he doesn't want to share the physical money.
Asshole.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, so I think asshole.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like why would you not do that?
We're gonna find out. About 6 months ago, I had the idea to start a small business making a houseware item. My girlfriend and I discussed that we would run the business together and split the profits evenly. The startup costs were $2,600. I paid $2,400. She paid $200. We also had to drive 10 hours away to get the materials. My girlfriend accompanied me on the trip. Cut to now. All startup costs are paid off, and we are starting to turn a profit. The complicating factor is I have done 95% of the work making the products. I have done 95% of the work, making the products, tracking the orders, packaging, shipping, etc. She helped with some of the packaging and making one of the components, but only about 5%. Only about 5% of the time that I've spent on this. It's not her fault that she hasn't been able to do more, as the equipment is at my house and COVID restrictions prevented her from coming over for a couple of those months. I feel conflicted about having to share the profits evenly with her. The unspoken essence of the agreement is that we would be putting in equal effort. I offered to reimburse her the $200 she paid up front, and that I don't think it's fair to split the profits evenly until she contributes more time. Additionally, she feels that some of the startup costs tools that I now own should count as my share of the profits, since I can use these outside of the business. I think the fact that I fronted the vast majority of the costs and my own money on the line and have my own money on the line negates that. Am I the asshole for not wanting to share profits now that the business is profitable?
Yeah, I think he's an asshole, 100%. Like I see how I kind of view life in a sense like if I have money in my pocket, I make sure that my loved ones gets a chunk of it before I'm content with how much I take. Do you know what I mean? Like if even if she does no work at all, even if she does nothing, and I'm making a profit, I will still be sure that she will get something. Even and obviously I won't give her all of it, but I'll give her the fair amount. You know what I mean? I just
Well,
feel
that's
like
the issue is what's the fair amount, because he said that he's done 95% of the work. She's done 5%. He put up most of the startup costs. He put up 2,400, she put up 200, but their agreement is that they split all the profits 50-50. So in that scenario, should she get 50% of the profits if she's not doing 50% of the work?
I would give it 50%. See, I would give it 50%.
He really he's very giving.
Just in the idea.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
Honestly, and I'll do it just in the idea of love. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, like I am very giving and very nice, but I can also be like, like if I don't feel like this person deserves it, they won't get shit. I could be both giving and whatnot, and he should be in that sense too. Like if she's nice to him and caring and she's, what I mean?
If
She
they have a
treats him
good
right.
relationship and she genuinely cares about him, then yeah, you absolutely should.
Yeah,
but if she's a piece of shit and she's probably cheating and she's mean to him and
fuck her, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
so she's not doing any work.
It's a weird situation too, because he specifically said like she would have done more, but she wasn't able to because of COVID. So it makes me think it's like,
okay, so with that, since he's still working, but she's unable to work, is she drawing unemployment from not being able to work?
No, this is like their side business. Like she just can't come over to his house.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like, well, this is just like extra money.
Unemployment.
This has nothing to do with like regular income.
Okay.
Or like hobby money, like I guess like
this is hobby money,
like that kind of thing. I see, like I said, I feel like it's just one of those things. The fact that they even have an agreement is kind of wrong, because like if you're in a relationship and he knows that there's COVID restrictions and she can't come over, like he's made it clear that she would do more.
Why can't she come over?
I don't know. That it's just what they said, but it's a business relationship, so they need that agreement. I feel like he's being the asshole though, because
100%.
I do.
If he burns this bridge with her, he's not only like, maybe he'll get the business, but he will lose his partner because
it's ridiculous.
But I also think that she could have been like, you know what, maybe I'll take a little bit less of the profits because you did do more of the work.
You should have offered to take less.
Yeah. So I think that ultimately he's the asshole, but I think that she could have like made a concession as well. But I mean, if the agreement is to share the profits 50-50, it's not her fault if you said she can't come over.
The relationship, whether it's personal or business, ahead of the money.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm very much the type that I think you should put the relationship between someone ahead of the money. Yeah. Like, if we started making a ton of money off this podcast, Megan, and you were like, I want this amount, and I'm like, but I want this amount, I would be like, okay, I don't want to fight with you over this because it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's hobby money. Why would you want to lose somebody that's important to you over money? Because I mean, that it could go away tomorrow. Like tomorrow, his house could burn down and like everything could be gone.
Yeah.
Nobody could want their product that they make. And then he lost his girlfriend because he put the business over her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I feel like, he's 100% the asshole. It's unfair. Like I said, why would you want to risk your relationship over some money?
Well, the internet was actually pretty divided on this one. 42% said that he was not the asshole, and 38% that said that he was the asshole. So 42% of people said that, he should keep more of the profits because he did more of the work. And 38% of people said it should be split even Stevens.
I mean, if that's the agreement that you made,
Yeah, if the agreement is 50%, if you want to like go back and like redo the agreement.
And with her it's not that she's refusing to work. It's because
she can't.
Yeah, she can't.
Yeah, like he said she can't come over. It wasn't like she was like, I just don't feel like it. Like, we don't know what she has. She could have like a super compromised immune system.
Right.
Yeah. It could be unsafe for her to be there.
I agree.
So, that one's.
And I think you should choose your relationship over the money. Like,
always
relationship
over the money.
It comes and goes, and you never know what tomorrow brings as far as your finances go.
Yeah. You
Like,
can't
I
take
would
it when
rather
you
have
die.
the person in my life and being able to make memories with them than a couple extra dollars. Like, it's just,
Because you won't, at the end of the day, you won't notice those couple extra dollars.
no.
And
But
if you
on your
do,
deathbed, you're not going to say, man, I wish I would have kept more of that money. Like, it's not going to matter. Instead, you're going to be like, I wish I would have given her more of the money so I wouldn't have thrown that relationship away.
yeah. Yeah, because those are the ones that you miss on your deathbed. You miss those people that you're like, I haven't seen this person forever. So here are the last two. So the first one, I'm doing both of these ones. So, all right. Am I the asshole for putting rules on mental health days?
Say that again.
For what?
Am I the asshole for putting rules on mental health days? Do you guys know mental health days?
No.
Okay, so mental health day is a day, it's typically used for, it's for anybody. It's for people in school, it's for people at work, but it's that day that you just wake up and you're just like, I can't do this today. I cannot function in a society today, and I need to stay home and be by myself. And so you call into work or you call into school, and you just take the day to kind of recenter yourself to be a part of society.
Okay.
So it's just a way to kind of like regroup. So this person is asking, are they the asshole for putting a rule on mental health days? And I'll give you a little bit of backstory because you don't know what those are.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
So she's the mother of 2 teenagers. So she wants to know, should she be putting rules on those days if she allows them to take the day off school? Should there be rules on that day?
Yeah, it doesn't go out and party and hang out. It means chill and relax.
Yeah. So
I agree. No, I've obviously gained some sort of information. I don't think she's an asshole. She's doing the right thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that you should absolutely have rules on mental health days because it's a day to focus on your mental health. It shouldn't be used as like, I was out too late the night before and I just really need to sleep in. Like, that's not what it's for. That's for, I have been running, myself ragged between school and test prep and working that I just need a minute to breathe. So
that's crazy. That's crazy that people even get that. Like, my household, never got.
You don't. You have to take them. They're not real. Like, it's not an approved thing, but it's a day that you take and you
just the idea. Just the idea would have never been in my household. Like, I'm just like going.
I would have like if Lily said, "Mom, I really just cannot do this today. Like, can I please stay home?" And I feel like she's done that before. And she's a good scholar. She, has wonderful grades and is a star pupil. And if she ever comes to me and is like, "I just can't today," I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, you're like, you're a good kid. Okay, if you need a day, take a day.
Yeah.
So the story is, I'm a mother of 2 teenagers, a 17-year-old named Susie and a 14-year-old named Tom. During Susie's freshman year, her workload and stress was through the roof, so my husband and I decided we would implement mental health days. We had no rules other than to be reasonable about when to take them and that they can't be on test days. It worked out great, and over the years, Susie would take 3 or 4 days spread out. Tom is where the problem starts. He has also allowed mental health days with the same rules and expectations, but he's taken advantage. This year alone, he has taken 25 days. He doesn't use the days for mental health and sleeps in. Yeah. He doesn't use the days for mental health and sleeps in to stay up all night. We don't do bedtimes. The rule is you have to get up in the morning no matter when you went to bed. He'll also spend it hanging out with friends that skipped school that day. He said at dinner that a game was releasing soon and that he was going to use a mental health day to stay home and play. I was fuming and told him he couldn't use any more this year and that they aren't for video games. He yelled, saying that he could do what he wanted for his mental health days. I said there would now be rules for the days. They can no longer be used to sleep in, sit and play games all day, to hang out with friends.
I could see sleeping in. I mean, that's kind of part of the purpose, is to just chill and relax.
But not if he's, doing it consistently because he stayed up too late. So it says, I also stated if you need multiple days a month, you would have to start attending therapy. The kids were mad, but my husband agreed in front of them. When we were alone, he blew up at me saying that I couldn't put rules on mental health days and was being cruel to our kids. I argued that the kids were not going to walk all over me when it comes to these days, and if it continues, I'll end them all together. He called me a bitch, and now we're not speaking. Am I the asshole?
No,
the husband is.
Yeah, the husband's the asshole. The son is the asshole.
Me?
Like,
it's fucked up.
So I have a friend who has a teen daughter who would routinely go in late or skip school. And she actually got a call from school and she goes, "Hey, if your daughter misses even one more day of school, she will not graduate. Like she will not go to the next
I know
grade."
in Arkansas, they can only miss like 6 days per semester.
Yeah.
And then you have to go before the judge and explain why they missed.
No kidding.
Yeah, like they're pretty strict on that. Or you run the risk of having to, and they'll send you a letter at like 3 days. You get the letter. And now if they have like a health condition,
Yeah, then it's,
but I mean, they have to have that on file, showing that they have that, or you can't just miss.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy too that she had, the daughter takes 3 or 4 days total for the entire year, and the son this year alone 25 days. I mean, that disparity alone,
That's insane.
He should have rules. Like,
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy that he
that.
actively admitted too that he's like, "Oh, I want to take off this day for my mental health so I can buy a game and play it all day."
Yeah,
like,
no.
that's not what the day is for.
Like this, he's taking advantage to the
because you can't do that once you get a job.
Mm-mm.
You can maybe allot 3 or 4 days a year from your job but they're not going to let you take off 25.
No,
that's ridiculous.
Unless
and she's not in the wrong.
It's like Jeremy, but
yeah.
Go
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, she's not in the wrong at all, and the fact that she's even giving them a day like that is that the kids are very lucky.
Yeah,
because most parents don't even do that to the child. They're like,
not an option.
"Listen, bud, you're going to school. Whether you feel like you're going to die, your legs are falling off, you're going to school."
I would like.
That's how my parents were. My parents were like only up to recently, because obviously I'm an adult now. They can't say to me, "Yo, you can't miss university." But when I was growing up, like I could have a raging fever. My mom would be like, "Get the fuck out and go to school." And that's it. That was how it was, And I took that on the chin every time. Like I said, the fact the kid even has these days, he should be so appreciative and grateful, know. And obviously, and he is like taking advantage, and I don't understand that because it's so ridiculous when kids take advantage of their parents like that. It's just unfair. And then the fact that her husband also gangs up on her,
and then calls her a bitch for it.
Like what the fuck?
Are you kidding?
Like, so you're just fine with our kid missing all these days?
You deal with that shit. I'm packing my bag. Bye, bitch. Like, fuck this.
Hang on, why don't you grow the fucking balls and fucking deal with this shit, like.
Yeah, you go to the school while he's missing so much. You deal with all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully agree. I don't think she's the asshole. And the internet agreed. However, I don't like the breakdown. So 60% said that she was not the asshole. And like 60% feels very low for people saying that she's not the asshole in a situation where she was obviously being taken advantage of. Yeah. But even worse, 22% of people said everyone sucks here. How is she in the wrong at all?
She's not.
I could tell what kind of people those people were. Oh, they're gonna probably blame that he has depression or that he's got stress. It's always like that.
Brat. He's not. He's just a brat.
Honestly, like those are the type of people that defend that type of stupid shit. Like they'll make 100 million excuses over bullshit. Like this kid is a brat. He's spoiled. And these people defending him are ridiculous, in my opinion. Like that's just bullshit. Like the mom is innocent. She's doing her job. Like
I would have rules like not on test day, not if you're super behind in your classes, or if you're going to take this day to get caught up. You can't hang out with your friends. You can't leave.
Why is that even an option?
At home and rest. That is it.
Yeah, like you can read a book. I mean, I guess you can watch TV, but you shouldn't be able to just go and hang out with friends who skipped school too. Now I could see it's once the school day is over, if you want to hang out after, maybe, but not for him. And with that, you have to base it off of it. If her daughter was acting like that when she was 14 and this had started, she would have put those same rules in place because she didn't think that she needed rules, and she didn't need rules until 3 years into it when her son took advantage. You don't need know that you need rules on something until somebody abuses the privilege.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, the breakdown was garbage. She's not the asshole. I will defend it to my dying day. Don't abuse mental health days because they are so important and they should be a respected institution for everybody. You should just be able to say, I need a day for my mental health and not have people go, oh, that's not real. Like it is to me. All right.
100% I agree.
So last one. Am I the asshole for parking in a disabled bay and being snarky about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless you're disabled.
So that was I want more info. Like, are you disabled and also snarky? Because if you're disabled and snarky, it's fine. If you are not disabled and snarky, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're a major asshole. Like, I'm a disabled. I got the spot.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, bro?
So this one, a few days ago, I drove my Volvo S90 to the city center and found a multi-city car park. I parked in a disabled bay and put the disabled badge on my car. The badge is not mine, but my father's, who has it under a hidden disability scheme, which means program for everybody not in the UK. It is a hidden disability program, not scheme.
I would have taken that as a hidden. So you don't really even have a disability. This is a little scheme you're working.
That's why I heard. I was like, it took me a minute. I was like, a scheme? Well, obviously he's the asshole. The program. We're still on track. All right. Once out of the car, I was approached by a woman demanding to know why I parked there, as I am clearly not disabled, accusing me of abusing the spaces, probably due to my age and the type of car I was driving. I said, because I can. This infuriated her further. She started recording me to upload to Facebook, highlighting people using disabled bays. For clarity, I was picking my dad up. She demanded to know what my disability was. I said, if you want to know what my disability is, I want to know your weight. She said that was none of my business and that it was rude to ask a woman her weight. I said whether or not I have a disability is equally none of her business and just to piss off. Put my headphones in, headed out. When I returned 30 minutes later with my dad, she was no longer there. Comments say that she was wrong. The comments say that she was in the wrong, but OP, the original poster, was intentionally confrontational and could have just picked up his disabled dad and not engaged with her.
Yeah, like he was purposely.
I feel like the same way.
Yeah,
I would have too. Who goes up to somebody and just demands to know if they're disabled?
Yeah, that's just so.
Well, I mean, and you don't know because, like, with my recent diagnosis, technically I can get disability with it. With having the multiple dislocations and it, it can be very debilitating. There are days I can't walk, because of it.
Yeah.
So, but looking at me, I just look like a normal person that wouldn't be disabled. So, like, you don't know what someone's disability is. You don't know what they go through.
It's funny enough because literally you guys are speaking about this like 2 days ago. I was on Facebook and I saw a post about something like this where an old lady goes up to this guy. Why are you parking in a disabled spot? Threatens to call the police and whatnot. And he was like, what the hell? Like, I am disabled. You just can't see it. Pulls up his leg. He's got
I saw that same story.
Yeah. He's like, look, I've got a fake leg. Like, you don't see it, but you can't just rock up to me and say, hey, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this, I have a badge for a reason.
Someone parking in a disabled spot and thought they shouldn't be there. Like, I don't even pay attention to it because that's not where I park and it doesn't pertain to me and I mind my own damn business.
Yeah, like there's literally no reason. Like, you are not the disabled parking place. If you think that they're not disabled and you want to like file a complaint with the police, okay, go ahead and do that. Why would you accost somebody in public and demand to know if they're disabled?
They could be having like their kidney is failing or something.
Yeah.
You don't know. You can't see that.
He's just trying to go about his day and this random woman in the car park like comes up to him and is just like, what are you doing? Like, I'm parking my goddamn car.
She was probably waiting for something like that. And those type of ladies are like fucking crazy. She's just like waiting with her phone, like, I'm gonna post something on Facebook today.
She's just ready. Someone parks in this spot. I'm really gonna hit it big.
Yeah. She's like, I'll get so many likes. Those type of people are so fucking crazy. It's insane. Like he shouldn't have really been so like. He should have just walked off.
Yeah, just like leave.
Because he kind of did. I feel like it's kind of over the. I feel like he kind of felt like he wanted to say something, so he did. You know,
Yeah.
but in that situation, he could have avoided going through this whole like, "Oh, what's your weight?" type of thing. He could have got his
I'd
dad,
been
and
the
then
same
said,
way.
"Yeah, he could have got his dad and said, look, here's
I'd
my
be like, what
food."
size bra do you wear? Like, it's none of my damn business, is it? It's none of your damn business whether or not I'm disabled. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The internet said that in the case of Am I the Asshole for parking in a disabled bay and being snarky about it, 65% he was not the asshole and he had every right to be snarky. And 19% said that everyone sucks here, which I agree with both of them. He was not the asshole, but also like he didn't need to be snarky. But you know what? She didn't need to come up to him and accuse and ask him why he was parking in that spot.
I agree. 100%.
All right, so that is all of the posts that I have. Please let us know if you also subscribe to this Reddit, because I would love any links to fun ones. I love reading these. I love judging the people. It's very fun. I want to give a special thanks to Kingy for joining us and making this not just Lindsey and I yelling at each other and about how stupid people are. And that's it. So bye, everyone.
Bye. You should click subscribe and hit that bell for more.